June 11th, 1962. 3 men vanish from the world's most secure prison without a trace. No bodies, no answers, just a raft made of raincoats and a trail of whispers stretching over 60 years. The FBI swore they drowned. Families swore they lived. Science says might have been possible. And somewhere out there, if they survived, they've been hiding in plain sight. This is the escape that America was never meant to solve. Alcatraz rises in the bay, a fortress forged of mist and dread. A military outpost once. Cannons had watched its shores in the 1850s. Spanish mariners gave it the name of Pelicans, with no knowledge of its sorrowful destiny. Prisoners from the Civil War clanged chains upon this windy rock. Native myths told of ghostly beings cursing the rocky island heart. Forged to destroy wills, its walls were whispering of endless imprisonment. Foghorns screamed, concealing secrets in their lament. Early escapes perished in frozen currents, perpetuating the myth. Pirates' gold, a whispered fantasy, tormented desperate prisoners. By 1934, Alcatraz was America's most formidable prison. Alcatraz began life as a federal pen, a cage for the unmanageable. Small cells, metal bars, and quiet, suffocated hope each day. Prisoners came by ship, waves taunting their liberty. 13 head counts each day, eyes ever vigilant. Guards outnumbered inmates, trust a deadly luxury. Canisters of tear gas waited above, poised to suffocate rebellion. Dinners were quiet, spoons possible instruments of resistance. Privileges such as books were earned, not handed out. Salt water corroded the walls, a quiet friend to some. The rock waited proudly, challenging any to shatter it. Alcatraz was not merely a prison, it was a myth of hopelessness. 15 break attempts, all defeated by water or metal. Chilly bay waters, 50 degrees Fahrenheit, engulfed the careless. Currents drew like chains, pulling hope to the depths. Guards boasted no one could overcome the rock. The public viewed it as definitive, where criminals disappeared forever. Prisoners spoke of freedom. The bay laughed last. Metal detectors took tricks away, leaving dreams. Legend grew. Escape was death by another name. And yet, 3 men had the courage to break that legend wide open. Frank Morris, orphaned at 11, forged guile in shadows. Convicted of 13, he became an escape artist. Alcatraz finally had its match in 1960 when Morris showed up. His quick mind, razor sharp, cut apart the rock's weaknesses. Previous prison escapes fueled his scheme, each having been a learning experience. Positioned beside the Anglins, he whispered insurrection every night. Spoons were turned into tools, his brilliance etching freedom. Accordion wails masked the throb of clandestine excavation. He fantasized about a raft, daring the bay's cold clutches. Morris took the lead, transforming desperation into a deliberate blow. John and Clarence Anglin, brothers in blood and determination. Poorly raised in Florida, their first lesson was survival. Bank robberies brought them to Atlanta, then the Rock. Cells side by side, an escape plan was conceived. John's intellect, Clarence's brawn, a combination unbeaten, met Morris in prison, fate crossing their paths. They dug with spoons, hands firm, defiant hearts. Raincoats were their raft, sewn in secret. Loyalty motivated them. Brothers against the establishment. Their flight would be legendary, a mystery never solved. Alan West, a conspirator, dreamed of freedom with the others. A known quantity from previous prisons, he became part of Morris's gang. His cell was a workshop, concealing tools for their daring plan. Spoons, saws, and determination. West assisted in cutting a path. On escape night, his vent grill did not move. Panic ensued as the others disappeared into the darkness. Left alone, West endured the guards' anger. He revealed the plan, gesturing to the shore of Angel Island. His words ignited the manhunt. But nothing was found. West's destiny, to see a dream he could not be a part of. Dummy heads made out of soap deceived the guards. Hair and toilet paper pilfered from the barber's floor. With pilfered paints made realistic in darkness, blankets concealed the guise, replicating forms of slumber. Papier-mâché grilles concealed the holes cut secretly. Each look by guards revealed only an immaculate illusion. The escapees were actors, their cells a quiet stage. Months of preparation, every detail a masterstroke. Deception was their tool, finer than any blade. The evening of June 11th, 1962, they started to play. Salt-cracked concrete, the prison's hidden weakness, spoons and saw blades pilfered from dining rooms, a vacuum cleaner motor, repurposed as a crude drill. Morris's accordion whined, covering the grind of labor. Night after night, they gnawed at their cell walls. Cardboard vents covered passages to a hallway. Patience, not power, cut their route to the roof. A forgotten passageway, a remnant of ancient defenses, each scrape planned, each noise camouflaged. Their tunnels, a quiet rebellion against the rock. 50 raincoats, pilfered, sewn into a 6x14 raft. Steam pipes enveloped sealed rubber, defying the chill of the bay. A concertina, transformed into a crude air pump. Paddles constructed from plywood. Pilfered in prison labor, concealed above the cell block, their workshop flourished. Every seam, every knot, a step closer to freedom, the bay's currents. An enemy as relentless as any guard, they targeted Angel Island, 2 miles of hope. Setting out in darkness, they bet against death. The raft, a sign of defiance, floated into legend. June 11th, 1962. The fog shrouded their quiet departure, baking bodies in beds, deceiving guards' careless stares. Through grills they slipped, hearts thudding in unison. The passageway went up to a rooftop under starlight. Soapbox bolts concealed their trail, an ultimate smart trick. Scaling pipes, they climbed to the prison's brink. The raft puffed up, shivering against the freezing waves. No blaring alarms, no cries, only silhouettes in darkness. They fled at midnight, the tide their only friend. At dawn, the rock awoke to an impossible reality. Roll call at morning showed empty cells. A shock. Guards gazed at dummy heads, their subterfuge revealed. West admitted, finger extended toward Angel Island's shoreline. Coast Guard cutters searched the bay, finding nothing. A paddle bobbed up, an escapee's taunt. Anglin's belongings, encased in plastic, washed up on shore. Raft debris off the Golden Gate, but no corpses. FBI declared it suicide, the bay a frigid grave, but no evidence of death fueled rumors of survival. The manhunt intensified, pursuing phantoms in the fog. San Francisco Bay, 50 degrees Fahrenheit, a liquid executioner, currents churned, sweeping men to watery graves. 2 miles to shore, a marathon for the desperate. Hypothermia hit quickly, freezing limbs in minutes. Sharks, a myth, but the cold was a real killer. Tides shifted hourly, a gamble for any raft. Escapees needed precision, or the bay would win. Warden Willard scoffed. No one could make it, yet their raft was clever. Built to defy nature, did the bay claim them, or did they slip its grip? In 2013, a letter arrived, chilling in its claim. "I'm John Anglin," it said. "We all made it." Morris died in 2005, Clarence in 2008, it reported. John, sick, proffered surrender in exchange for medical attention. FBI tested it. Handwriting, DNA, fingerprints. Results inconclusive. The letter an intriguing enigma, kept hidden until 2018, when KPIX got the scoop. A hoax or fact? The question seared anew. Marshals reopened the case, hoping for new leads. The letter, authentic or not, revived the legend. Anglin family members said Christmas cards, unsigned, arrived. A 1975 picture, perhaps them, turned up in Brazil. Family vowed the brothers survived, living in hiding. Sightings murmured, Mexico, South America, elsewhere. No evidence, only hope. Driving decades of speculation. A nephew's account. They wrote coded letters back. Cards ceased in the 70s. Quiet descended once more. Photos were tried. Faces distorted by time and uncertainty. Family held on to belief against official declarations. Their accounts kept the escape flame burning in hearts. Dutch scientists in 2014 simulated the bay tides. A midnight launch could reach Angel Island, they said. Currents might have carried the raft, not drowned it. This defied the FBI's claim, death by water. Simulations showed a narrow window of hope. The raft's design, sturdy, could have held firm. Recovered debris hinted they made it to shore. Science cracked the bay's deadly reputation, yet skeptics held firm. No bodies, no proof. The study gave the myth its first real wound. FBI closed the case in 1979, pronouncing them dead. No bodies, but the bay's fury appeared inevitable. No one lives through that water, agents maintained. Debris such as the paddles supported their dire judgment. However, West's story and no bodies raised questions. Public scrutiny kept the case simmering low. The 2013 letter prompted a subdued FBI re-examination. Inconclusive tests didn't change their position. Marshals, not FBI, continued to pursue the specters. Official truth collided with mounting rumors. U.S. Marshals never closed the Alcatraz file. In 2022, they published age-progressed sketches. Faces, now grey, glared from wanted posters. Tips flooded in, each a spark of dwindling hope. The 2013 letter kept their pursuit alive. Brazil, Mexico. Sightings pursued, but fruitless. Marshals concede they might never get the truth. Each lead, a ghost of the escapees' cleverness. The case open taunts lawmen to this day. 3 men disappeared. Thwart justice's grasp. Soap, toothpaste, hair. Dummies from scraps. Painted to deceive guards. Realistic in dark. Real hair swept from the floor. Provided spine-tingling authenticity. Blankets molded bodies. A convincing nighttime fiction. Guards looked. Saw sleep, never dreaming, months of planning, each head a work of art. The deception gained hours, the key to freedom. Discovered at dawn, they startled the heart of the prison. Dummies, not men, defied the rock's legend. A trick, outwitting steel and eyes. Hidden above the cells, a secret workshop formed. Old halls in ruins concealed their nighttime labor. Raincoats heaped high, pilfered from prison supplies. Scrap plywood, repurposed into paddles for escape. Steam pipes burned rubber, sealing their raft. Smuggled tools, carried in socks, constructed their hope. Guards walked below, oblivious to the plan above. Months of effort in plain sight. The workshop, a rebel's forge against the rock. Each stitch, closer to the bay. Escape wasn't physical. It was psychological. Dummies and vents. Guards' minds played games. Morris's accordion, cover for their din. Each step taunted Alcatraz's iron grip. Inmates outsmarted a system designed to break. Deception, their knife, sliced through routine. Guards perceived order, blind to chaos cooking. The escapees played roles, the prison their stage, a rebellion silent, fought in darkness and stealth. Their scheme, a middle finger to the rock's legend. San Francisco Bay, a monster of cold and current. 2 miles to the shore, a gauntlet of icy death. Tides changed quickly, a snare for the unprepared. Hypothermia would kill within 20 minutes. The raft, weak, was battered by waves like mountains. Night launch, their only protection from spotlights. Angel Island, a pale hope in the darkness. No life jackets could completely resist the cold. The bay, Alcatraz's most deadly sentinel, waited. Did they overcome it or fall into its trap? Morning dawned on empty cells and shock. Guards gazed at dummies, faces of betrayal. Alarms wailed, shattering the rock's legend. West, abandoned, revealed the escape's secrets. Boats set sail, hunting ghosts in fog. A paddle bobbed up, mocking the manhunt's beginning. Anglin's possessions. A lead or a dead end? The FBI scrambled, pride stung by 3 men. News got out, cracking Alcatraz's impenetrable aura. The world waited, in suspense. 50 raincoats, a raft that outran a fortress. Sewn in secret, it outwitted the bay's fury. Paddles roughshod and resourceful, hacked from junk. Steam-sealed joints, a testimony to determination. Scattered in pieces, it spoke of enduring. The raft, the icon of outwitting strength. Did it stand firm or disintegrate on the waves? Its creation, tried, demonstrated it could journey far. A symbol of defiance, carved in Alcatraz history. The raft's destiny, and the men, unknown. Whispers of survival in 1975. 2 men, perhaps Anglins, standing in Brazil. Family vowed it was them, alive and free. Facial scans danced, neither truth nor falsehood. The photo, grainy, kindled decades of argument. Had they escaped into a life anew? Mythbusters tested it, findings left in suspense. A photograph, haunting, sustained the legend. Brazil, far from the rock's frigid cells, fact or fiction, it mocked the reach of the law. Anglin brothers received cards, unsigned, during the 60s. No names, only suggestions the brothers survived. Seized by feds, the cards disappeared quickly. Family held out hope, contradicting drowning allegations. Were they secret messages from brother fugitives? No evidence. Only trust in brothers' guile. Cards ceased in the 70s. Quiet returned. A nephew vowed they communicated in ink. The cards, as the men, fell into darkness. A delicate hint, nourishing an infinite puzzle. Warden Willard ridiculed dreams of escape. The Bay kills, he informed the BBC in '64. He viewed the raft as a fool's desperate role. No corpses, only evidence of the sea's brutality. His pride in the rock made him blind to fissures. The escape destroyed his unshakable faith. He grilled west, seeking answers in vain. Willard's words echoed, but doubt crept in. The Bay, he swore, was the final guard. Yet 3 men made him question the rock. In 1979, the FBI declared them dead. No bodies, but the Bay's verdict seemed sure. Debris like paddles backed their grim call. Public outcry kept the case from fading. The 2013 letter forced a second look. Tests failed to prove or debunk the claim. Agents clung to drowning, despite no proof. The file closed, but whispers never died. Marshals took over, chasing faint leads. The FBI's truth clashed with growing hope. In 2014, Dutch scientists cracked the Bay's code. Tides at midnight could carry a raft to shore. Angel Island, reachable with perfect timing. The study shook the drowning myth hard. Simulations showed the raft's clever strength. Debris found matched a survival path. Science offered hope where officials foresaw death. Skeptics resisted. No bodies, no truth. The study, a spark, ignited the mystery again. Could 3 men have outsmarted the Bay's odds? In 2022, marshals released aging faces. Morris and Anglin's now elderly glared back. Sketches begged tips, again fueling the hunt. The 2013 letter energized their relentless pursuit. Sightings in Brazil, Mexico, none paid off. Marshals admit the truth might remain hidden. Posters haunt, ghostly faces of winners, each lead a hope to crack the code. The case still open, taunts lawmen. 3 shadows, always evading justice. Alcatraz's breakout captivated America's conscience. Books, movies, TV shows, each dramatized the story. Clint Eastwood's 1979 film cemented it as legend. Mythbusters tested the raft and found it could float. True crime enthusiasts analyze every detail online. The mystery, a reflection of outsmarting the system. D.B. Cooper, Billy the Kid, cousins in legend. Alcatraz tours attract millions, pursuing ghosts. The Escape, a tale of guile against might. America is fond of an enigma that thwarts the law. Saltwater consumed Alcatraz, corroding its center. Maintenance costs drained the budget by 1963. Structural failures provided the escapees with their advantage. Ancient tunnels, remnants of a fortress, concealed their labor. Corrosion, a quiet accomplice in their scheme. The rock was shut down, too damaged to maintain. Now a museum, it attracts truth seekers. Tourists walk cells, sensing the escape's resonance. Rot facilitated 3 men breaking the legend. The island in decay gave rise to a legend. Guards relied on procedure, blind to the deception. Dummies deceived them, an embarrassing trick. Evening rounds overlooked the holes in walls. Music time concealed the sounds of secret drilling. Their trust of the rock was their weakness. Morning showed their failure. Cells vacant, tear gas, unused, taunted their authority. The escapees outwitted eyes and steel. Guards' pride, broken by 3 clever men, their slip allowed a myth to fade into shadow. The news of the escape shocked a nation. Headlines cried out, "The rock breached." People cheered for the underdog's cleverness. Rumors circulated. They lived in plain sight. Alcatraz became a stage for dreams of rebellion. The mystery fueled America's affection for outlaws. Books and movies kept the story burning bright. Visitors swarm, pursuing the escaped specter. A fissure in the rock fueled talk without end. People adore a tale that resists the finish. Raincoats 50, sewn into a defiant raft, seams sealed with steam pipes, a convict's work. A concertina pushed air, rough but resourceful. Paddles fashioned from scraps toward shore, constructed in a secret crevice over the cells. Every seam, a defiance of the bay. Sciences tested it, and it might have lasted. Trash retrieved suggested a successful float. Their raft, a patchwork of grit and hope. Its creators, engineers of their own destiny. Midnight departure, the tide's brief window. Fog shrouded their raft, concealing them from lamps. Currents might bear them or drag them down. Precision was life. Sloppiness was death. The bay's rhythm, learned in secrecy. Dummies purchased hours. Guards none the wiser. No alarms, only quiet as they got away. The tide, their friend or their ultimate judge. Timing impeccable, provided them a chance. The night, their protection, sheltered a bold leap. In 2023, 3D scans uncovered Alcatraz's secrets. Hidden passages from the Civil War era discovered. Ancient fort walls, decayed, assisted the breakout. Scans indicated routes the escapees may have taken. Technology stripped away the rock's old wounds. No new clues, but hints at their path. Tunnels overlooked were their quiet helpers. The island's history, a secret to their liberty. Scans fueled speculation. Did they escape? Science keeps the question alive in 2025. In 2003, Mythbusters constructed a raincoat raft. It floated, verifying the escapees' ingenious design. In 2014, they tested the Brazil photos' faces. Results danced, neither confirmation nor dismissal. The show kept Alcatraz legend in lights. Their raft sailed across the bay, confounding doubters. Currents conformed to the Dutch study's results. Television made the breakout a modern myth. Science and drama, stimulating public appetite. Mythbusters proved survival wasn't impossible. The 1962 breakout shattered Alcatraz's myth. 3 men made the rock a question. Movies, books, and tours keep them alive. A story of wit, outwitting steel and sea. America adores rebels who outsmart the system. The mystery unsolved puzzles lawmen still. Dummies, rafts, tunnels, symbols of rebellion. Alcatraz, today a park, remembers their deed. Their shadows remain, drowned or free. The escape, a mystery inscribed in history. Did they drown or survive in secret shadows? Was the 2013 letter truth or a heartless hoax? Brazil photo, real faces or hope-filled dreams? Why no bodies in a bay which disgorges its dead? Could 3 men disappear in a watched world? Did the raft hold or snap in the waves? What secrets died with West, the abandoned? Are marshals pursuing phantoms or living persons? The bay remains quiet, holding its secret. Alcatraz's enigma, unsolved, continues to taunt us. Alcatraz remains a museum of abandoned dreams. More than 1 million come annually, pursuing phantoms. The escape, a chink in America's prison. Morris and Anglin's, mythic figures in mist and time. Their tale, a flame that flickers but never goes out. Science suggests that they survived, but evidence remains elusive. The bay, the raft, the dummies, everlasting leads. A country fantasizes about outlaws who succeeded. In 2025, the enigma still holds hearts tight. Did they succeed? The rock won't say.